right, okay. So today, guys, we are going to use a seminar about main idea, okay? So before we get started with this, since you don't know what we're going to do yet, we have to go over our seminar rules. So does anybody remember any of those seminar rules? The first one I would like you to talk about is me, where I'm standing right now. Somebody tell me what this means if I'm standing here. Milan?
You're the teacher, and you should be talking over you.
And you shouldn't be talking over me. In order to speak, what do you have to do when I'm standing here?
Raise your hand.
What's that?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand is correct. Anybody else know another rule for a seminar? Mahina?
When you're sitting down, you're in front of us, so we don't raise our hand, we just wait till you're done talking.
Very nice. How do you know when somebody's done talking? You're making what?
Eye contact.
Very nice. Anybody else know another rule? There's a couple more. Lika?
You need to make eye contact if you want to talk after someone else is talking.
Right. Any more? Let's think about what kind of language do we use? We speak like a what?
Scholar.
We speak like a scholar during seminar. And the last rule is when somebody finishes talking, what do they have to do?
Join. Ask someone if they agree
their
on the
opinion
story.
or to join in on
And to join in. And how do we speak to each other?
Polite.
Oh, I heard it over here. Taya, would you say it louder? You speak what? Respectfully. So I want us to remember those rules as we get started. Take a look at our target. It says, I'm able to find the theme, main idea, or moral of a text and use text evidence to support my reasoning. So today, I'm going to use a fable to help teach this lesson. Anybody ever heard of a fable? I have any idea? You've heard of them. You just might not know. Lika, what's a fable?
I'm guessing it's about fake things, but it's not real.
It could be fake things, not real, kind of. Anybody else have an idea, Lily?
The story itself is not real, but it has lessons involved in it.
Oh, say that louder. I don't know if they heard you over there.
It's a story that isn't real, but it has a lesson inside of it.
Can anybody add to that? Bella?
An example like the Brothers Grimm books were to teach kids lessons and examples of what not to do, and they're usually not real, or they are not real. Like they have talking animals and stuff in them.
Talking animals, that's a really common theme in fables. Alika, did you know something else?
I read this story in 2nd grade, and it's about this toad and a frog.
Toad and a frog. And what happened in that story?
They're best friends.
They're best friends. Do you remember any lessons being taught? Not sure. Has anybody ever heard of The Boy Who Cried Wolf?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
If you've heard of it, do me a favor, turn to the person next to you and tell them what that was about.
What was it about?
You don't know the story? Okay, give me 5. We have a couple of students who haven't heard of it. Can somebody give me a brief summary of the story? Kind of tell me what happened. See somebody who hasn't spoken yet. Konai, do you remember the story? Never read it. Anybody? Have you read the story, Maya? Can you share with the class?
It's about a boy that was flying because he was yelling that there was a wolf in the village. So the villagers came out and there was no wolf. And he did it a few times. And when the wolf really came, the villagers didn't believe him.
Right, they didn't believe him. Do you guys remember that story? Sound familiar? So what would you say the main idea, the lesson of that story would be? Not to lie. Because what happens if you lie?
If you actually need help, they won't trust you.
Right. I know another one you probably guys have heard of. What about the hare and the tortoise? Anybody ever heard that story?
Yeah.
Okay, turn to your neighbor, tell him that one. 25, please. So, is there anyone that does not know that story? Never heard the story, Daphne? Can someone give a brief summary of the story? A really quick summary, Shay.
Basically, the hare was like bragging that he was definitely gonna win, and he like thought so much of himself. But then in the middle, he took a nap because he knew that he wasn't gonna lose because the tortoise was so slow. But then the tortoise passed him, and then he beat him.
So what was the theme? What was the moral of that story?
Oh, that you should never brag.
Shouldn't brag.
I should say
You say lazy?
because like be self-centered. Because the hare, he took like a long nap.
The hare took a long nap. So you're saying lazy, you got bragging. Anybody else have any other themes from that story? Mahina?
Don't think that you're better than everybody else.
Ooh, don't think that you're better than everyone else. Kind of like Alika said about bragging. Milan?
Don't think that sometimes fast could beat slow.
Sometimes fast can beat slow. I believe the moral was something like slow and steady.
Wins the race.
What is it?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady wins the race. Kind of like, we take assessments, and Miss Brown says to take your what? Time and to put in your what? Best effort. Because it doesn't matter if you finish fast. No, it matters what?
If you give all your time.
If you give 100 what?
Effort.
Very good. So today we're going to read a fable, hopefully that you have not heard of. And I'm going to pass this around. I'm going to pass it on each side. So everybody just take one. They should end up with Miss Lindsay. Miss Lindsay will give me the rest. It's called The Bad Kangaroo. And I'm going to need a couple of readers to read this aloud for us. And we're going to share this fable and see if we understand or see if we can figure out why the author chose the moral or the theme that they did. You can place it on your clipboard so it's easily accessible. Okay, does everyone have The Bad Kangaroo? Mm-hmm. Okay, I actually changed my mind. Miss Brown's going to read this aloud. So, if you're a self-directed learner, where would your finger be? On what? All right, well, let us listen to this story and see if we can figure out the theme, the main idea, the moral of this. The Bad Kangaroo. There was a small kangaroo who was bad in school. He put thumbtacks on the teacher's chair. He threw spitballs across the classroom. He set off firecrackers in the lavatory and spread glue on the doorknobs. Your behavior is impossible, said the school principal. I'm going to see your parents. I will tell them what a problem you are. The principal went to visit Mr. and Mrs. Kangaroo. He sat down in a living room chair. Ouch! Cried the principal. There's a thumbtack in the chair. Yes, I know, said Mr. Kangaroo. I enjoy putting thumbtacks in chairs. A spitball hit the principal on his nose. Forgive me, said Mrs. Kangaroo, but I can never resist throwing those things. There was a loud booming sound from the bathroom. Keep calm, said Mr. Kangaroo to the principal. The firecrackers that we keep in the medicine chest have just exploded. We love the noise. The principal rushed for the front door. In an instant, he was stuck to the doorknob. Pull hard, said Mrs. Kangaroo. There are little globs of glue on all of our doorknobs. The principal pulled himself free. He dashed out of the house and ran down the street. Such a nice person, said Mr. Kangaroo. I wonder why he left so quickly. No doubt he had an appointment, said Mrs. Kangaroo. Never mind, supper is ready. Mr. and Mrs. Kangaroo and their son enjoyed their evening meal. After dessert, they all threw spitballs at each other and across the dining room table. Okay, now, fables often put the moral or the theme at the bottom. Do you think we can read this together? This last sentence starts with A, finger on it. Let's read it. A child's conduct will reflect the ways of his parents. Now, what in the world does that mean? Don't tell me. Tell the person next to you. But you act like you're behind. You think every child acts like they're behind?
That's how he treats other friends. And they don't teach him a lesson. Like
Okay.
we have manners.
Give me 5. What I want you to do now is take one sticky note. And fables are often, the morals are often written in very fancy language. I want you to write it in nice 4th grade language. What is the moral of this story? I'm going to give you like exactly 45 seconds. So, go. Ten seconds. Remember, we want to keep the moral or the theme like we do in class. It's got to be kind of short. We're not writing a paragraph. So think about a sentence. Sentence is pretty good. Okay, I still see a few pencils moving, so I'll give you another little 15 more seconds or so. Okay, now take another sticky note and stick it on top of your story. So you should have 2 sticky notes. On this sticky note, I want you to prove to me from this piece why your theme is correct. How do you know your theme is correct? What in here helped you come up with that theme? And I'm going to give you a little bit more time for this, and then we're going to discuss it. So I'll give you about 60 seconds for this one. So go ahead. Find me some evidence, some support in the story that supports your theme. How do you know this? A good way to start would be like, I know this is the moral. I know this is the theme. I know this is the main idea because. And like Miss Brown always says, you got to do what? Prove it to me, please. Okay, a couple more seconds. Finish up your ideas, and then we're going to start our seminar. Okay, all pencils are down, so listen up carefully. I would like some of you to share your ideas, but follow this format. I think the moral of this story is, whatever your moral is, because in the text I found and stated. Is there anyone that would like to start first? Just open up the seminar. Okay, we'll start with Bella. Remember to either Bella invite someone in or someone may respond to what Bella says. The other rule we forgot about is don't look at who?
You.
Teacher.
Don't look at me. Who are we looking at all right now?
The class.
Well, who are we looking? Who's about to speak?
Bella.
All right. Okay, here we go.
I came up with the moral, monkey see, monkey do. Because that was the shortest and most accurate moral that I could come up with. And I found this because in the text, the kangaroos, the mother and the father put thumbtacks down and they glued the door handles and they threw spitballs and so the kid did too.
Okay. Anybody agree, disagree?
I agree because the parents never, whatever the kids look at, whatever the parents do, and the kids are watching, the kids will do the same thing because it's part of their traits from their family.
Oh, look at that vocabulary word, traits. We learned that. And he's saying it's one of those learned behaviors. 2 clap snap for that. That's from science. High five on that. Anybody else have a different moral? What moral did you come up with, Taya?
The more that I can. The more that I came up with, they said that if you act like if the parents do something, you will copy it and you will learn that trait and keep on doing it and you will.
How do you know?
I know because when a kangaroo was doing all this stuff, the parents did it too. So when the parents did the same things as the kangaroo.
I agree because the parents were teaching their kid manners and stuff and to be respectful to others because they didn't go to bad stuff. And they
The parents, were you saying the parents were doing bad things? Oh, okay.
and the kid.
I agree with Taya and Alika because what their child would do in school, like throw spitballs across the room and put glue on the doorknobs and put thumbtacks in the teacher's chair. The parents would do the same thing as the kid, and then when the principal went to their house, she sat on the thumbtack.
I got a question. So why do you think the author wrote this story? We're in seminar.
So parents think before they do something in front of their kids.
So you think the author was writing this for parents?
Yeah, I think because if the parents do something bad in front of the kids might copy it, and they might get in trouble at school too. And yeah, it's gonna make so I think the parents should watch what they do before they do it. Think before what they do before they do it.
Well, I respectfully disagree.
Yes.
I think that what the author was trying to put out was for kids, you shouldn't copy every single thing that you see. Just because your parents may do certain things doesn't mean that you should. And it may also be written just to show a bad example.
Or
And
just
what not to do.
or the kids just, like when they were younger, the parents used to do it in front of them, and he copied the same thing that his parents did in front of him.
Parents wouldn't be about kangaroos.
I still disagree, but but
Wait, which one do you disagree with, Uncle?
I disagree with you, Kakulu, because I think it's for the kids, because sometimes the kids can't correct their parents from doing if their parents are like doing something bad, maybe the kids can like correct their parents and tell them if it's a bad idea to like do something bad to other people or something bad to for other people.
I haven't heard anyone on this side. Ask somebody what they think.
What do you think about that?
I agree because
With who?
with Alika, because children could correct their parents if parents like smoke, and if they have another child in their stomach and drink, because their kid could end up having something different in their body, like disabilities they can't do like other children.
Can you invite someone in over here?
What do you think about that, Kanai?
I agree because the parents shouldn't be setting bad behavior in front of their own child, because whatever the parents would do, the kid would do, because they're learning things from them, and the parents are supposed to set good behaviors to correct the kid. What do you think about that, Maya? I agree, because the parents are supposed to set a good example for you, and
Can you help her out? Like Brayton, what do you think?
I agree because the kids should be able to correct their parents if they do something bad like that to you. Because if their like Milan said, if they're smoking or drinking, they should be able to correct their parents. Because, like for instance, my mom used to smoke, but I was afraid she was gonna get cancer because I saw a commercial that would happen to some people. So I kept on telling her to stop smoking, and one day she eventually stopped.
So, you think the author wrote this for parents? Let's see by show of hands. Who thinks, if you think the author wrote it for parents, or if you think the author wrote this fable for children? So let's see. If you think it's written for parents, raise your hand. If you think the audience is parents. Okay? If you think the audience is for the child. Shay, you didn't raise your hand. What do you think?
Well, I think
Hands down.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, the kid does learn from their parents, but the kid can also tell their parents, don't do this because it's wrong. Now, if the kid corrected them, then I bet that the kid would probably have better decisions, which would be better. But then again, the parent doesn't always listen to the kid. Sometimes parents just ignore the kid, and that doesn't help at all. It just gets them mad.
What do you think, Tyler? About what Shay just said.
I think you're right, Shay, because I ask my parents about stuff and then they just ignore me sometimes, and sometimes when I ask something else, they will answer a few days later.
So, Shay hit the nail on the head. Fables are written for, guess what?
Each other.
Everybody. So, it is written for parents. It is also written for children. It's meant to have universal meanings. Anybody know what I mean when I say universal meaning? You have an idea? What do you think?
Universal meaning sort of means like it depends on who you're talking to. People could have like different meanings, like different like definitions for what this book or what this article is about. It's like,
But it should mean something to them.
Yeah.
But how they perceive it. Like if your mom or dad read this, what do you think they would think about it?
They would think like, well, they think.
Tell the person next to you. What do you think? If it was written for your parents, what would they think?
I think parents, but that sounds kids
Milan, what do you think? Tell me.
The question again?
You started spending.
Okay, give me 5. I'll ask you in a minute, okay? Sorry, Brian, did I cut you off? You can finish what you were saying.
And then he did it anyway, so then Uncle Danny didn't have enough.
Will you share that with the class?
My grandpa had a stroke, and he should read this so he would listen to kids more. Because what happened was my Uncle Danny needed to borrow some money, and Grandma gave, because she owed him some, so she gave the money to Grandpa, and she put me in charge of him. And then he started spending. I told him not to spend it, but he spent it on popcorn and drinks anyways. And so my Uncle Danny did not have enough money.
Oh, so sometimes children can be a better example or a good example for adults. Do we agree? Okay, so you guys did really well with that. But that was one Miss Brown kind of helped you with. So now I want to see what you can do on your own, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around this basket, and you're going to simply take one piece of paper out of the basket. Each paper has a different fable. However, 2 other people in the class will have the same fable as you. So the first thing, we're going to wait till everyone gets their fable, and then you're going to have to find the other group members. One group will only have 2, but Miss Lindsay's going to take that extra one. What you're going to do then is you're going to take your fable and you're going to go to any area. You can sit next to each other in seminar. You can find a space in the room, and you're going to have to read the fable, and your group is going to have to come up with the theme, the main idea, or the moral. Then we're going to come back to seminar, and we're going to share those. You're going to read your fables. Notice these are all kind of short. See how short it is? It's a real short one. We're going to share the fables. One person from your group will read the fable aloud, so you need to have a spokesperson in your group who's going to speak for the group. And they're going to share their theme. And we as a class, we're going to decide if we think you guys came up with a good moral, or if we think you need to work on a little bit more. And if we agree with if the class agrees with your moral, we're going to put it in the keep side. And if we think you need to work on it a little more, where are we going to put it? Back in the think tank. So now I'm going to pass these around. Please do not. This should sit up. Cut block, please. This should take like maybe, I don't know, 40 seconds to go around. Do not look in here trying to find one that your friend has. I want you literally to pick and pass. Are you clear? Give me a number if you understand what I just said. I don't want to see this. Looking at to see what Lily has and trying to find it in here. You take one and pass it on. Are we clear? Okay, very good. So take it and pass. Quick. Chop, chop. Chop, chop, do it.
Do you want me to grab one?
Yes, please grab one because we have one student absent. Take and pass. Perfect, worked out. Okay, now you're going to have to find your other group members. Ms. Brown isn't going to help you. I'm not going to do anything. You have approximately 2 minutes to find your other group member, and I'm going to set the timer. Listen carefully. Once the timer is set, you and your group need to be reading. You can find anywhere. You can go anywhere in the classroom that you like. You just need to be with your group. Make sure you have your clipboard and your sticky notes. Your sticky notes is where you're going to write your theme. Does anybody understand what I said? Give me a number if you understand what I just said. Yes, Alika, you have a question?
Yes. How do we know if they're in our group or not?
Because they're going to have the same fable as you.
Like this.
Okay, so you got to find. Okay, wait, but you've got to figure out how you're going to find that. Miss Brown, you guys know how to read, so let me grab my timer. 'Cause I left it over here by mistake. You will have 2 minutes. And when the timer goes off, you need to be in your group. Are we clear? Okay, go.
Let's go. Here you go. Okay, we got it. Michelle, what do you got?
Are you a wolf? Yes, we have one. Okay, so let me see.
Everybody has to do one. Do you have any dogs? I have a lion. Michelle. What's yours? Shay, do you have a dog? No. Do you have a lion? A dog?
Find a place.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Find a place.
I volunteer to be the writer and explainer.
I volunteer to read.
Okay, we've already done it.
1 minute.
But you have to read to each other.
Yeah.
Just all read the story very quickly.
Okay, ready?
I already read it.
Sing the same.
Letting her read it.
Yeah, I remember. Ask the grasshoppers what sort of food they eat.
Did you read it? Did you read it already?
Turn your seat so you're facing each other.
Grasshopper food. The secret to their beautiful voices.
Are you reading it right now?
Grasshopper told the donkey to undo. After that, the donkey decided that he would only do.
Okay, I read it.
Suddenly, I didn't. He died of hunger.
I get it. Okay. I think that the
So it means
moral of the story is no matter what size, you can always help.
the donkey. That's
Like if you're smaller, if you're bigger.
so the
Yeah, no
donkey
matter what
asked
size, you
them,
can always help.
"What did you guys eat to get that sweet melody of yours?" And then the grasshopper said, "Mildew, mildew." And so he searched for it, and then he died of hunger. That means that he never actually found mildew.
I think the moral is just because it's usually not because of what they eat. Because usually you said whatever what size you can
No matter what
always
size, you can always help.
If you're bigger or smaller.
Yeah. There's
Okay, and I need proof.
lesson is
If that's what you think your moral is, I want you to prove it to me. How do you know?
you got it.
that help so I think
That's a little bit of the proof.
would have
Those are proof.
you need to
Well, we need the proof. Even
Yeah,
a mouse.
because that's a
small mouse.
explaining.
Just because
We're smaller than a lion.
So no matter what, yeah, I can help fly. I can take
I just want to know what you're saying.
It's not just based on what you need.
Be like,
So I think what you do doesn't matter. I can help it.
Yeah, except
I can take a third of it. Then she can have this.
maybe you can make it one.
I think that no matter what size, you
But
can
the other
always
thing,
help.
remember, I need
Now,
proof.
proof is now you can see
Me that that's what
now
that
you
moral
can see
is.
that
So
you
make
and
sure you write it
mouse
down.
can help the lion sometimes.
You got it.
Basically, exactly what we just said.
we found the proof in our last sentence.
Literally, our last sentence.
Because it's not that just say that even a mouse can help.
So you have your, do you have your person that's going to read it
Go what you think.
and explain it, and everybody understands? Because I should be able to ask any of you, any in this group, I should be able to ask you all about it. So read it one more time, make sure you know.
Okay, I'll read it out loud now. A lion woke up when a mouse ran over his face. The angry lion caught the mouse and was about to kill him. Okay, first off, why would a mouse run over a lion's face?
Because he's probably gonna annoy him.
I don't think that's a terrified mouse pleaded with the lion. He said, if you spare my life, I am sure I can help you. The lion laughed at this and would let the lions go. Not long after, the lion was caught by the hunters and tied to the ground.
Okay.
Then the
What's the moral?
mouse
What you
left the
guys
lion
know?
roaring. He came and gnawed the rope, holding the lion
Gotta be
captive.
yourself.
Yeah, that would help you, sighed the mouse. That means that even a mouse can help a lion sometimes.
Yeah, that was when drinking dew, is eating dew, eating dew as donkey. So you think that you should just be yourself?
Yeah.
Can you prove it to me? You have proof in there? Make sure you have both those written down. Because when we come back, I need to know.
Oh yeah, because
I want to explain the proof.
but
She said she's gonna choose any of us. Like,
yeah, but I'm gonna be like talking and then you guys will come in. But that was a bad idea. Could I just? If we need one person and they volunteer to be person.
So don't add.
And read and explain and stuff.
Kind of like in the class, right? Yeah. What would happen if everybody was doing their own thing all the time? Kind of like you guys are working together right now, aren't you? So what's going to happen if you work together? What's up? Oh, I heard that. You said what? What you have. Different ideas.
So he did have one.
Okay, so if you write, you know I'm going to ask you for that proof. Prove it to me. What was right?
Be yourself. Don't act like someone.
I get you to go to the Alright, what did you guys come up
I know this is the seed.
Do we all know what we're doing right now?
Of hunger.
I know what I'm doing. You know the theme is repeat the theme to me.
He means no matter how
like certain flaws can always help.
grass.
And the proof is now you can see that
Mouse can help other lives.
here, just read it in your mind if you
Not that good at remembering.
have a paper in your face.
What do I say?
I got to these proof. What side?
Now you can see that in your mask.
I made a little arrow that said proof. I'm like,
I know this is the seed because
I know this is the text because I know this is what. I don't know where it is.
in the text,
So we all agree.
in the text, it said in the text, just in the text,
Hold the paper in your clipboard.
he just ate mildew. No, he just ate dew and died of hunger.
Because
That's not going to post that, yeah.
he didn't get his
I found it right there. In the text.
Absolutely.
I spelled donkey. I'm gonna go up and read the story and Miss Brown's gonna ask all of us questions and I'll put it on the board and stuff.
I know this is the seed. No, it's in the text.
She said she's going to put it in the back of the tank, in the think tank, or in the key.
We're thinking now.
I think more harder.
That's not what he eats. That's not what donkey eats.
So maybe you should be careful.
Excuse me.
Why? Now tell me why. Find the proof as to why. Why is that even proof? What you guys got over here?
This is how we're doing it related.
I don't care.
Oh, the hand.
So,
You see yours, we go like, okay.
I think the moral of the story is just
Connects to this where they are. And then if you say hello, they can hear it.
Yeah, just tell me.
if you are a donkey and it's time to eat the banana,
Where in there was that fruit?
that's not what donkeys eat. Donkeys are
what are you looking at?
grass.
Either one was to tell me
I think the thing is be yourself. Be yourself. Don't act like someone else. Don't act like someone else. I know
Not
this
wrong on this.
because in the text he ate dew and he died of hunger. Because that is not what donkeys do.
I did. Be yourself because he died.
Okay, give me 5, please. Give me 5. Shouldn't hear any voices, but I should see all eyeballs. We are going to come back. I'm giving you 1 more minute, so have your ideas finalized. If you already have your ideas finalized, you may come sit in seminar, but sit next to your group members. Make sure you need to have a speaker.
I'll be the speaker and I'll tell you mine. So, be yourself. He died of hunger. He didn't get what his body needed. He needed certain things that you didn't have. So there were holes.
Just use yours, okay?
Okay.
You can make sure you're all together on your ideas. You really got to sit next to your group.
Just like some
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get my chair. I'm gonna get my chair.
So you 3 are a group? You 3 are a group? Okay.
You're gonna be sitting over there.
Yeah, together. All 3 together. Okay, you got I'll give you 30 more seconds. Those of you that are still writing, finish up with your writing. I met with all of you, so you pretty much have your morals decided. Krisha, if you want, I will read your group, okay, if you want me to. You want me to read it? I don't know how I got 3 shy. 3 shy kids all together. But I'm not going to read that part. You've got to read that part.
Shay, where's your group? Okay, so you 3 move over here.
Justice, sit with your group.
You gotta sit with your group.
Game.
You gotta move over one because Milan, honey, let's go. We're missing a chair.
Apparently, somebody probably just pulled it out. It's okay. Let's scoot down. Scoot this chair
You
down.
gotta move over because Milan's missing. Alright, wait. Move over a little bit.
Okay. All right. So I was able to meet with all of you, and by Jove, I think you've got it. I'm pretty sure, but I want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to read 1 group because I happened to get 1 group of all shy kids. I don't know how that happened. But I'm going to read their fable for them. And we're going to each listen. These are all very short, so you should have your speaker and be ready to go. We're going to literally go around the circle, and when we get to you guys, I'll just read your fable. Now, you need to listen carefully to each speaker. All eyes should be on the person that is speaking. We need to listen to the fable because you're going to have to you're going to have to decide whether or not you agree or disagree with their moral, and they're going to provide support to help convince you. Yes, Bella?
Then the doctor is stand up.
Yes, The speaker may stand if they like. Are there any other questions? Okay, we are going to start with this first group to my left, which is Anthony, Lily, and Alika. Okay, who's going to read your fable? You're going to stand? So read the fable first, please.
The fable is, a dog with some meat in his mouth was walking across a bridge. He looked down and saw his reflection in the water. This foolish dog mistook his reflection for another dog with a much larger piece of meat. He immediately dropped his own meat and attacked the other dog. Of course, the reflection was only in the water and his supper was washed away. So our group decided that the moral to this fable is you should be thankful for what you already have. This is because he thought that his reflection was another dog with a larger piece of meat, so he dropped his to get the bigger piece and didn't have anything after all.
Do we agree with that one? Yes, no, maybe so. Anybody disagree? Hear a different fable? Anybody want to comment? Kaipono? Oh, look at your hand was up. Okay, so please stick your fable. Are we going to put it in the keep or back in the think tank? Thumbs up or thumbs down, please. Go ahead, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's see. Or sideways if you're not sure. You know how we do it. Okay, looks like we're going to keep that one. So you can go stick it up there. Everybody give her a 2-clap snap. Good job, first group. It's always scariest to go first. All right, next we have Daphne, Mahina, and Maya. Which one is the speaker? Okay.
Kim and Joy were traveling together. A bear suddenly met them on the path. Kim quickly climbed into a tree. Joy fell flat on the ground. The bear sniffed Joy all over his body. He held his breath and pretended to be dead. The bear went away because bears will not touch a dead body. Kim came down from the tree and made a joke. Kim asked Joy, "What did the bear whisper in your ear?" Joy frowned. He said, "The bear told me never to travel with a friend who runs away when danger comes."
Very nice. So what was your moral?
The moral was, my moral was, choose friends wisely because some will just try to get stuff out of you, and they won't stick with you when something bad comes, so just leave you alone.
Anybody ever had a friend like that?
Yes.
Or somebody you thought was your friend, and then they turned out not to be your friend? Anybody want to share a story that happened like that for them?
No.
You want Miss Brown to share her story?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so when Miss Brown was in college, I got stranded like really far away because I didn't have a car. So I was a freshman in college and we weren't allowed to have cars on our campus. But I had 3 friends that had cars, or so I thought, were my friends. Do you know they left me on the other side of town? So picture Kailua and being stuck in like Waimanalo, but you have to get back to Kailua, but you don't have a car.
I could walk.
You could walk.
I know it's not far.
Yeah.
Well, it's not far, but how long would it take me to get there? Or say, let's make it a little farther.
2 hours.
2 hours walking,
It would
not that
take
long.
me
1 hour.
to walk to my house like maybe, since I walk in like 15 minutes, like maybe like half an hour.
So you would have other friends though. Miss Brown didn't have. The other time was I got really sick. I had the flu in college. Do you know what all my friends did? They left me and they went out and had fun, and I was just in the room sick, throwing up. They didn't even care. They didn't call. They didn't check on me. Were they really my friends? No. And Miss Brown had to learn that lesson the hard way. So,
Did you make a friend?
yeah, I do have some friends from college. I have some friends that I've had now. They've been my friends for 20 years. But that was when I first went to college, and I thought everyone was my friend. And everyone was not. Did you have a story, Brighton?
Yes. One time, we were playing in this rocky area, and a rock was wobbly, so I twisted my ankle. And my friend did not help me, even though I screamed for help and walked off.
Oh, bummers. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get oh, you have a story, Mahina?
Yeah, but
There's this girl that I live by. Her name is Arden. Every time I try to go, since we call out people to go ask them if they can play outside, she was lying because she didn't want to play with me, and she told me that she was my best friend. And it's kind of difficult to live by her because she goes against me and she uses me just to go in my house and stuff.
Right. So let's get a thumbs up or thumbs down if we agree with their moral. Or sideways if you're not sure.
I hate that girl.
You hate that. Okay. Very nice. Please stick yours in the keep. And do me a favor. Can you use magnets, guys? Use magnets to stick them up there because usually we stick them on our board, on our white paper. But we'll use magnets. So stick it up there with the magnets. They're on the side.
Wait, mine is not spelled right.
Doesn't matter. We're not checking for spelling. We're checking for your ideas. You had great ideas. All right, we're gonna quickly put those up and thank you, Alika. They can grab them. All right, next group.
Wolf had a bone stuck in his throat.
Can't hear you.
A wolf had a bone stuck in his throat. He promised the crane a lot of money to put her head in his mouth and pull out the bone. When the crane had extracted the bone, she asked for payment. The wolf bared his teeth at the crane and growled, "Think yourself lucky. You were paid enough when I let you take your head from my jaws without biting it off."
Whew. What's the moral of that one? Tyler?
The moral that we came up with was be thankful for what you got, because if you got your head taken off and still paid, you couldn't do anything with that.
Say it again. I don't think they heard you.
If the wolf took your head off, but he still paid you, you wouldn't be able to do with anything with it, but rather have your head not taken off and live your life.
Very nice. Anybody have that? Anybody ever been ungrateful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Parents kind of scold you for
My
that.
cousin.
And anybody ever been ungrateful and your parents said, "Well, since you're ungrateful, then you don't need it at all."
No, but
You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
My mom said that one to me lots of times. Or we go, you know what happened when we go to the grocery store? Your parents ever say, "Don't you ask for anything"? Did they ever say that?
Yeah, and then
And then you sit there
buying something.
and you're asking and you're asking and you're asking and you end up getting something severe in exchange.
Every time I ask my grandmother, she always gets me something.
Well, grandmas are different. Grandmas are different.
Well, my
mom, she doesn't like
grandma's
say
She's
Okay,
like my mom.
we're talking over each other. It's not our seminar rule. Okay, there we go. All right, do we agree with the crane kept his what?
Head.
So should he be happy or not? Thumbs up, thumbs down if we agree. Guys doing.
Wait, could I add?
I agree with
If you disagree or if you're not sure, I would like to hear why. Lily,
Well,
tell them, not me.
I agree, but disagree at the same time because I'm not really sure. Your moral to the story, to the fable, is really reasonable, but something that I was thinking of once read out your fable was that the wolf should make reasonable promises to other to the caboose it was, right?
The crane. It looks like Shay may have had a comment. Could you invite him, Lily?
What do you think about that, Shay?
Well, I'm the same as Lily. Like, you should make promises and not break them, because then otherwise she won't help you ever again, or the crane won't ever help you. So you gotta make promises that you can keep, rather than breaking them and saying, "Ah, too bad. You should be happy you didn't get your head chopped off," but really you should keep your promise.
Anybody else agree or disagree with what was said? Please invite someone, Shay.
What do you think about it, Brayton?
I think that he should have the crane should have just been able to do a solid for the wolf, because the wolf can easily one day help the crane. But like, what if the wolf one day went like that to the crane? Because like the crane, what if the crane needed help? And the wolf's like, where am I payment? Just do a salad for some of everyone.
So you're saying you should just be nice. You should just be kind to people because. So I've got a question for you. There was a wolf and a crane. Anybody have any idea why they would choose a wolf and a crane? Why would he choose like a wolf and a dog? Or like a wolf and a bear? Or a wolf and a lion? Why did this author choose a wolf and a crane?
What's a crane?
It's a type of bird. Jocelyn.
Because cranes have long necks. So
Hold on, wait, let's listen.
Because cranes have long necks, so they can reach their head into their neck to get the bone out.
That's a good reason. What about food chain? Oh, tell your neighbor. Why would they choose a wolf and a crane based on the food chain?
It's like what?
Absolutely. Okay, give me 5. Let's come back. Kanai had an interesting explanation for why they would choose a wolf and a crane, and I'd like her to share it, and if anybody would like to comment, please follow up afterwards.
Because they'd have a wolf and a food chain because a wolf could be a predator.
To the what?
Crane.
To the crane. So typically you would eat the crane. So picture yourself, you're the crane. Would you help the wolf out?
Yes. No.
Probably
not.
I would.
Tell your neighbor what you would do. Tell him why. Okay, I got another one. Give me 5. So I heard different things. I heard people still saying, yeah, you would just do it to be nice. I heard some people say no. Okay, what if it was you and a lion? Tell your neighbor. Okay, give me 5. All right, so this one we actually had almost split down the middle. We have 2 different sides of this, 2 different perspectives. I think everybody's perspective sounded similar when I said you and a lion, though. Everybody's face was kind of like, oh yeah, no, that lion's just going to have that bone in his throat. So what I would like you to do is to stick your theme, stick it directly on the line. Can you do that, please? Thank you. Because we had two different sides, 2 different perspectives. Now I'm going to read for this group because they're all super quiet. Okay. An ant went to the riverbank for a drink. The unlucky ant fell into the water and almost drowned. A dove was sitting in a tree hanging over the river. She plucked a leaf and let it fall in the water near the ant. The ant climbed onto the leaf and floated back to the riverbank. Later, a hunter arrived and began to make a trap for the dove. The ant came and stung the hunter on the foot. The painful sting made the hunter cry out. The dove was warned of the danger and flew away. And Krisha's going to tell us, what's the moral, the theme of this one?
If someone helps you, you should help them back.
How do you know?
Because the dove helped the ant get back to the riverbank and not drown. And then the ant helped the dove not get trapped and not getting killed.
Can anybody think of a rule that that you've probably heard this rule since you were in kindergarten. You probably hear it every single year. But don't scream at me. Tell me. Tell the person next to you. What rule am I thinking Okay, give me 5. What's that rule I'm talking about? Who can tell me that rule? We call it something too. We call it the blank rule. I think all of you should tell me. What kind of rule is it? The golden rule. Now what is it?
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Very nice. So their moral was spot on. Do we have any dissension? Anybody who doesn't agree? All right. Can you stick it on the keep side and moving right along with Brighton, Johnson, and Taya?
Ew.
You should have had your speaker before you came back here.
A father had sons who were always quarreling. They would not listen when he told them about the danger of disagreement. This father decided to give his sons a partial lesson. He took a bundle of sticks and asked each son in turn to break the bundle. None of his sons were able to do this. Then the father opened the bundle and gave his sons separate sticks. Of course, the sons could break these sticks easily. The father said, "Our family is like this bundle of sticks. While we are together, nothing can break us. When we are divided, our enemies will break us as easily as these sticks."
Okay, what's your moral?
The moral of this story is like when you when you break apart from your family, you always like disagree or like you always fight about what you want and what they want. Like if this person wants to do this and the other person wants to do this, they'll always keep on fighting and never stop. So the father's teaching them a lesson about if they're together, they can't be broken, so they won't always disagree and always fight.
Very nice. At school, you know about bullying, right?
Yeah.
How would this apply to bullying? Tell your neighbor.
You're like split apart. You're fighting like you agree, then everybody can be fine. Just like you can do something this time, and they do this one, then they will stop fighting. No one
Together we're what? So like together, would they be able to bully anybody? What's that? That's how we what? That's how we roll. We don't allow that. So we practice this faith every day in this class. Very nice. Okay, give me 5.
No.
Who can help me out with that? With that bullying? How does that fable relate to bullying? Lika. And then can you invite Brighton after? Because he raised his hand.
That if you stick as one, and if someone gets bullied in our class, and we're all around, no one will pick on them because we're actually one, and no one gets bullied.
And that's how we roll.
That's what?
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll in I-21. That's really how we roll. Can you invite?
What do you think about that, Bryson?
I agree, because if we were divided, it would actually lead to bullying, because once you started fighting, you could start disagreeing a lot. And when you started fighting, you could really start to get mad with each other and start calling each other names and pushing each other around because you You just disagree. That's all it led to.
But together, what?
You agree and you don't fight.
Very nice. We work together.
Break apart.
If you're, even though we're more than one, Johnson made a comment. Do we always have to have the same idea?
No.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Well, what's the difference? And how come in one case you're fighting, in one case you're not? What's the difference? Tell your neighbor, don't tell me.
Disagreements are part of life. If everyone disagrees, what would the fun be in that? And she tries to stay here.
So it's okay. So it's okay to disagree. But we have to disagree a certain way. What do we say? Disagree, agree, and
Not like don't somebody I don't
Your opinion is not. Maybe
Thank you. Okay, give me 5, please. So there's a difference between disagreeing and bullying. And I'm going to start with Shane Kaipono because I heard what they said, but you feel free to respond to what they have to say. So go ahead.
Disagreeing is part of life, but disagreeing is only like good if you know how to disagree correctly. Like, don't disagree like in a bad way. Like, don't say, "Oh, I think you're wrong" just because of my thought. Just like what you think. Just disagree upon
How could you say it? Bella says it all the time. She says, I
disagree respectfully, or
I
like,
respectfully disagree.
I disagree with your opinion. Well, I think it's a good thing, but I disagree with it because, and you could say blah blah blah.
Well, again, I sort of respectfully disagree because I believe that there is respect in disagreement, but you don't have to say that you like the idea. You don't have to say, "Oh, that's a good idea," but I also think, which is good, but you don't have to like it. You just have to respectfully disagree. It doesn't have to be.
So there's a word I want you to say. Let me hear the word validate.
Validate.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
So you acknowledge what the person says, and then you validate them by saying something like, Bella, I respectfully disagree because. But you do not have to say, I like your opinion and this is mine, because that's kind of not being honest, right? If you really don't agree with what they say, it's fine to disagree. You just need to make sure you acknowledge and validate what they said.
But disagree is like a part of life because, like, if we didn't have disagree, like, everybody would say, like, the same thing. Like, if you're talking to each other, you guys, like, say the same thing, it might be weird. But if, like, only one person says it, and then you think about something else, you can say like, I disagree with yours, or I think that yours is good, but I disagree with it.
Very nice. So, do we have a thumbs up for that group? Okay, please add yours to the key. Next group. We only have 2 more. Who's the speaker for you guys?
Us? Okay, I don't know. Me.
Listen here.
One day, a donkey heard some grasshoppers chirping and loved the melody. The donkey wished he could sing the same way. He asked the grasshoppers what sort of food they lived on. The donkey thought grasshopper food was the secret to their beautiful voices. The grasshoppers told the donkey they lived on dew. After that, the donkey decided he would only eat dew. A short time later, he died of hunger.
That one's kind of funny to me because the donkey was eating what? What was he eating, Shay?
Dew.
Dew. Now, I'm pretty sure donkeys don't eat too. So what was your moral?
Be yourself. Like don't be someone who you are not.
Yeah.
Like you don't always have to be perfect.
Like if you
Just
are
listen and follow your instincts and what you want to do.
Say that. Follow your what?
Instincts.
like just don't do stuff like you can still sing good. It's just that it's not what they eat. It's like what you do. Like I think because the grasshoppers, they just do that sound because when they rub their legs, they make that sound. But the donkey cannot make that sound, or he probably might huff or puff or something.
Yeah.
But he cannot make the sound. But still, he's like a donkey. It doesn't matter if the grasshopper sound good or better than him. It does. Just go what you think about yourself. Don't what they think about you.
Yeah.
Did you have something to add, Shay?
Basically, you gotta be yourself because he died of hunger. You gotta realize that. He didn't get what his body needed, and he needed certain things that dude definitely did not have. So there was, there really wasn't holes in him, but it's like there was holes in him because he didn't have some stuff that he absolutely needed to live.
Very nice, very nice. 2 clap snap on that was very concise. Do we agree, disagree? What we got? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Please add it to the keep. And our last group. Are you gonna stand, Bella? Yes. Of course you are. Come on, let's go.
Okay. A lion woke up and ran when a mouse ran over his face. The angry lion caught the mouse and was about to kill him. The terrified mouse pleaded with the lion. He said, "If you spare my life, I am sure I can help you in the future." The lion laughed at this idea, but let the mouse go. Not long after, the lion was caught by hunters and tied to the ground. Then the mouse heard the lion roaring. He came up and gnawed through the ropes holding the lion captive. You laughed at the idea that I could help you, sighed the mouse. Now you can see that even a mouse can help a lion sometimes.
You read awful fast. May I read it again? Just a little slower so everybody can hear. Okay, read a little slower.
Ahem. A lion woke up when a mouse ran over his face. The angry lion caught the mouse and was about to kill him. The terrified mouse pleaded with the lion. He said, "If you spare my life, I am sure I can help you in the future." The lion laughed at this idea, but let the mouse go. Not long after, the lion was caught by hunters and tied to the ground. Then the mouse heard the lion roaring. He came and gnawed through the ropes holding the lion captive. You laughed at the idea that I could help you, sighed the mouse. Now you can see that even a mouse can help a lion sometimes.
Okay, so what's you guys' theme?
Me too. Our theme was,
Tell them, you're looking at me.
no matter what size, you can always help. And our proof was, it said directly in the text, now you can see that even a mouse can help a lion sometimes.
So, if we apply that to people, how would we say that about people?
In people, we could say,
Baba helping me with Maya.
Well, maybe not. kind of think back to the bad kangaroo one.
like important.
Yeah.
Like with the bad kangaroo, who are we talking about? Kids and parents. In the case, can you sit down for me now? I can't see the people. In the case, like Brighton gave the example, can kids help their parents sometimes?
Yes.
Can parents help their kids?
Yes.
Kids, ambassadors, where are you at? You guys are all in the 4th grade, but have you helped lots of people this year?
Yes.
What kind of things have you done?
We gave food to the Kenny McKinnon kids.
McKinney Bento kids, right? What else did you do?
We provided
We had a
backpacks
goal.
with goodies inside of it for kids that don't have backpacks.
What else did you do?
We bought the money that we raised for Glow Dance. We used for the preschoolers
For their what?
for their playground equipment.
Right, and how old are you guys right here in this class? 9, 10. And you guys are making these big changes. So does your size matter?
No.
Does your age matter?
Yeah.
What matters? What's in your what?
heart.
Very nice. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if we agree with this one. Okay, we're going to put, yes, we did clean the campus too.
Just like Cinderella.
We are going to now return to our seats, but not yet. Brown's in the center, so you should all eyes should be on me. I'm going to pass this out to you, and you're going to go to your seat. You're going to write your own fable. Oh, I know. And Miss Brown came with a template for you, and you're going to work on it. Now, what kind of work does Miss Brown want?
Amazing.
What's that?
Amazing.
Amazing, and I expect what?
No white space.
No, 100%.
effort.
What's that?
100%.
I can't hear you.
100% effort.
That sounds much better. So on this, it's going to, I have a list of, it says, write your own fable, choose 2 characters, 1 setting, and 1 moral. Then use a chart to plan your writing. Now we have some morals up there. You may choose any of those, or you may choose one that I gave you here. I also, in just a second, I also suggested, I gave you some suggestions for characters. Did we notice a theme? What kind of characters were we reading about? They were all what?
Animals.
Animals. So I gave you some animals. Do you think you're only limited to these animals?
No.
No, you may choose additional animals. Then settings. I gave you some setting choices as well, but you can choose a different setting. This basically will outline it for you. Now, we only have about 7 minutes before recess. So do you think I want you to rush and try to get this done before recess? No. No. I will give you time after lunch to continue to work on this. Are we clear? Okay. So take one and pass it. And once you have it on your clipboard, please return to your seats and take your chairs back to your seats. Once everyone has it, don't move. Freeze till everyone has it. Be careful with this table because the microphone is there. Milan, get off the table.
Hi. Are we gonna choose which one to have?
You can use one of those, or you can use one that's on the paper.
Oh, never mind. We can't even use it. What? Oh.
I was gonna say, where is it on this side? I know I passed it both ways. Okay, I'll take the extras. Okay, please return to your seats quickly, quietly, and correctly. Pick up your chairs and take them with you. Excuse me, Monet. Monet. Should I hear any voices right now? Okay, I'll be right here. If you have any questions, can ask me or Miss Lindsay. And when the bell rings, I ask some of you to stay to help me get Chromebooks. So whoever stays will get them. Make sure your name and date is at the top, please. I know you guys love to forget that. That's not you. I'll talk to Miss Lindsay on this. Chocolate, she's 5. What's your number? That have 2 characters. Oh, so wait, the pig is on the ground. So where it says P, that's where you're right back. That's the problem. And the solution is that the dog is going to and remember, you can look at those up there too. Working like the one that took it, you can have that as your home. Are they friends? Are they enemies? What will be the problem?
Alright, so now that you know what we do, right? Read.
They're in the forest.
You like that one?
So where it says P, that's your problem. The rabbit is lost.
So you have to come up with a problem, not your own.
It's gonna help you when you're trying to write it. Boys and girls, remember, fables don't have to be as long as a bad kangaroo. Remember, I gave you those little small pieces? Yes, ma'am. You absolutely can. Yes. Yes, we are actually. Are you gonna bring them over? Okay, do me a favor, secure your papers on your clipboard. The bell is about to ring any moment. Be sure your math book and math notebook are on your desk. The Skies class is going to be bringing over Chromebooks, and those of you that will stay will help get them. And you will continue working on your on your fable after lunch. We're going to do math when we get back from recess, okay? And guys, you see the morals on the board? I'm just going to move them over to the left because I need to use the board for some math, okay?
You don't care.
You can work while we're waiting. Yes, please. You need to have your geometric tool, your math book, and your